right, it's going to be a good show. We have XRP Venture going to be in the house today. Go ahead and let this build up. Send the tweets out. You are in here. Go ahead and shoot out a comment. And I'm gonna send the tweet out. I'll paste you in there, XRP Venture. You want to send it out as well.
Okay. You're tweeting it right now?
Yep, and I'll paste it in here real quick.
All right, I will find it and retweeter it.
Here we go.
I don't see it yet, my friend.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to.
All right, there we go. You should see it, and we will start this up. All right, moving on. Get you on here.
Okay.
All right, everybody should be able to see you. Go ahead, XRP Venture. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, brother?
Hey, everybody. I am, my Twitter handle anyway is XRP Venture.
All right, there you go.
And we are going to talk crypto and I assume heavily favoring XRP.
Yes, man, all over it. And we already have some folks in the house. We got Darcy B, XRP. What's going on, bro? Crypto.
Darcy's here?
Yeah.
Gotta love Darcy.
Oh, yeah. Always supporting. Always supporting. All right. We have Crypto Nation 589. What's up, friend? How you doing, man? And we are hitting it. All right. So this is going to be fun. XRP Venture. We're going to talk on so XRP Agent, or the XRP Agent, he just posted a video on some scams out there, like a micro payment scam now. So what do you think about these scams that are going around? And I know I'm talking to you about this because I see you actively engaging in Twitter. When you see the scams out there, you're like, this is a scam, stay away. Because unfortunately, we see people still to this day that get spiraled up in this. They think they can send 1,000 XRP and they're going to get 200,000 back, unfortunately, and they fall into this. So what's your take on that?
Well, that amazes me that they think it doesn't take a lot of homework to figure out if that's really Brad Garlinghouse giving out 20,000 XRP because they hit some kind of milestone. I mean, you can look at the guy's history and look at his tweets and retweets and realize, oh, this is the very first time he's ever tweeted anything about Ripple, and now all of a sudden he's got some kind of live stream going where if you send him XRP, he's going to, send you back 10 times that amount.
Yeah.
Who would ever do that? Who would ever do that? Why would
that has to sound some alarm bells, right? Like
you would think.
Yeah.
So
this is ridiculous. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably true. Not. No. If it sounds like you're gonna get 200,000 XRP for sending 1,000, use your brains. Come on, don't do that. It's not worth it. All right, we got RPM. Hey guys, wishing you both all the best. Thanks for showing up, brother. And we got GXRP Perez, my favorite people. Man, you're one of my favorite people over here as well.
Gumby's here? I can't see anything, by the way. I'm sitting here trying to play with it, and I can't find any. I can't see a chat. I can't see
man, that's why I put it on the video. If you put it Do you like have your phone? Usually, what we'll do is we'll have them on their phone, and they'll be seeing it.
Yeah, I can do it on my phone, but
Yeah, that's usually how
I
we run
I'd
it off
have to.
the Skype. Hey, yeah. So, all right. So scams, they're out there. Be careful. And you want to talk about the clicking, right? When there's people out there that try to get you to click on things. And what is that?
Well, obviously, we're never ever going to get away from hackers. I know you're an Apple guy. I'm a Windows guy. And everybody, well, Windows. My wife uses, Apple and Mac, and it's like, oh, there's less viruses you can get. Well, that's not really true. The reality of it is that when 98% of the world uses Windows and only 1 or 2% uses Windows or Mac or
Yeah,
Apple, there's less incentive to write a hack because
you're not going to affect as
there's
much
only one or
people.
2% of the world using it, you know?
Yeah,
So just like anything else, it's always about, you know, the economy of scale and, the fact that, well, if I write a hack for Windows, I got 98% of the world that might click on something. So
yeah,
what we were talking about earlier is that the only way you can actually get, a virus or a hack into your laptop or your desktop computer is by clicking on a executable file. And that it's just like, downloading when you download Skype or some other program, when you click on it, you've allowed them to then run that software. And so when you're asked to click on something, you need to be like ridiculously careful that you know that link. Quite honestly, you might even copy that link before you click on it, copy it and paste it into Google and see if it comes up as a scam.
mm. Yeah. That's it's good.
Because
Good
you're
nuggets.
not the first one that got it.
Wow.
So just be careful what you're clicking on in your emails, and certainly, if you're using when you use your Nano, you have to go to what's the website? Come on now.
The
Oh, isn't
Ledger,
it
the
Ledger
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 Live.
Live?
Yep, Ledger Live. That's right.
Yeah. So if somebody's sending you micropayments, and you're like, why is somebody sending me micropayments? I saw somebody else. Maybe it was the XRP agent said, well, I'm getting enough of these micropayments where I might have one XRP. That's 30 cents. Just stop it. Just, it's not,
It's
it's
not
not,
worth it.
it,
Not yet.
yeah,
Not
it's
yet.
not worth it. He goes on to say, well, when it's worth $10,000, then I'm going to thank these guys. Well, never thank them. But the point is it's you're going to have to click on something. They're going to ask you to click on something, and that is you're opening the door then and giving them the portal to get into your ledger or to get into your computer.
Yeah.
So be very careful what you click on.
Yeah, no, you're all over it.
So
I appreciate that advice. We especially in this market, it's new. It's been around for a little bit, but it's new, and there's people that are just being affected by stuff like this as well. We just want to bring up the awareness. Again, shout out to XRP Agent for your video today. Check it out on his page.
yes, that was a good job.
Yeah. Hey,
That was
so
a public
Digital
service
Assets
announcement that
Daily.
was needed.
He's here. Said hello, GXRP
Who
Perez,
is?
XRP Venture and Crypto Track, Digital Assets Daily. So Dad. Um,
Dad's here.
yeah. What's going on, Dad? Thanks for tuning in. All right. So, yep. XRP number one was helping us out. Ledger Live. Yep. We figured it out. And Dad. There we go. Okay. So now some exciting stuff. We start off with just some cautionary stuff. Now some exciting things. If you know about XRP Venture, you know he's real public with his feelings. I don't think he holds anything back. As far as what I've observed from him, he really just puts out what he believes, and that's really good when we have people that you can actually see what they're about because they don't hold it back. Um, Now you have you have some videos on conspiracy theories. I know the one that in particular I'm talking about went really viral. You want to talk about your commercial that you put out there and the stuff you
Well,
put together.
that was one on the Thrifty commercial, and Crypto Mike apparently saw something in it too. And it very well may be from watching Crypto Mike's videos where I first, because I remember seeing little snippets on Twitter about the Thrifty commercial and what have you, and it kind of intrigued me. And so I went and watched the commercial for the first time and started kind of breaking it down a little bit, I guess, in my own head. And I thought it was weird that what the heck, or Kean Thompson. I thought it was really weird that he was wearing that jacket with the ripple blue, and it was bears and so on. And when you dive into that commercial and you really start looking at it, I was like, man, this is some weird stuff. Anyway, and still don't know to this day if any of that is true, but it's really uncanny the
Yeah.
way that they go from those three cars. And that first one, that old beat up one where the door falls off it, is a
It,
Suzuki,
yeah.
and Suzuki was the only car maker that had a model called Swift. Now
It's wild.
we we
It's old and beat up.
we know we know of another Swift model that was put together in the 70s that's broken down, and of course his comment is, that won't do, and then the door falls off. Clearly need a new one. Then he goes to the next car, and it's a Lambo, and he's too expensive.
Yeah.
And of course, above it is a sign, bear the cost, BTC. Like, really?
Wow.
And then he goes to the next car, and of course, it's a Jeep Cherokee, which is a utility vehicle, which is
It's
which is
screaming
what
XRP.
we always talk about.
Yeah.
It's about the utility. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too expensive. And then he says, I can get this for that. And I took that as like, I can get this utility for 30 cents.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
Yeah. And you even
And
labeled it 30 cents and
yeah,
Bitcoin
yeah,
things
I
like,
tried to.
yeah, no, it was just,
So it really was weird. And then I looked up, I was like, well, who would authorize this commercial to even run?
yeah, that's what I was about to ask
And
you.
I
Yeah. It's from
well, I
Hart.
looked up the CEO of or the owners of Thrift, and Thrift is owned by Hertz Rent a Car.
Yeah.
So then I looked up, well, who's running Hertz? Who up the chain of command authorized, saw that commercial and said, okay, I'm willing to pay $500,000 for that commercial or whatever it cost them. And it turns out to be, I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Catherine something. Anyway, and it turns out she has just like 25 years in electronic payments industry as a consultant for banks and blah blah blah, and it
Yeah.
goes on and on. So like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, this gal has to know about remittance and Ripple, and that Ripple is
Yeah.
trying to
It's,
be um,
yeah.
the crypto replacement for Swift.
Yeah, it's so uncanny as you're talking about. XRP number one said he was wearing a gold bear around his neck and on his
Right.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and then of course he gets in the car at the end, and there's that little ugly bear, and he's like, "Oh, baby bear," It's like, wait a minute, you're Hollywood, don't you do a cute little bear? This is an ugly little bear sitting next to him in the car. So I found that to be kind of ironic, and then, um,
you you
um,
uh, so I go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, what I was going to tell you is that was that commercial. But then, do you remember me talking on CKJ's show or something about that? And I think you asked me about it once. Maybe it was on our last stream about that Christmas movie Noel.
Yes. Yeah, I did talk to you about that.
Okay, so I watched that like 8 times, and my family was like, "Why do you keep watching that?" Well, first of all, it's a brand new movie.
Yeah.
It's a brand new movie that was shot in 2019. It's not like an old Christmas movie,
Hmm.
you know. And so it's a brand new movie. So if they were going to drop some hints and crumbs in there, then being a brand new movie, that kind of lends to the fact that they might be aware of what's going on, and so on. So there were just too. I mean, it was really weird. Here's a show about, Santa dies and his son needs to take his place. His son is overwhelmed, can't handle it, doesn't like the cold, and he has to go somewhere warm. And he decides to go to Phoenix. Well, Phoenix is another thing in our community that, raises a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah.
So he goes to
Speaking of the
Phoenix.
Phoenix, GXRP Perez, he does a deep dive on that stuff. Check that out on his channel. Um, he's in there commenting. You can just click on his name and you can go on his YouTube channel from there. And welcome, type Beats Live. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, XP Venture.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Perez does some great stuff. In fact, he and I need to do a show too.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about the show, there was just certain things that just like perked my attention. Like what, why? So here's the whole show, and then at some point, the sister of the son that can't take it and has to go to Phoenix, she gives him a bunch of magazines to read, and and that's where he gets the idea to go to Phoenix because there's a magazine article about it or something. Anyway, so she runs off to Phoenix to find him, but every time the camera would zoom in on something, a store in the background or the magazine cover, I would pause the TV and I would do a gematria search on all of the headlines on the magazine cover.
What was your
I
results for
swear to
that?
you, literally, you either found David Schwartz, you found Ripple, you found XRP, you found anything. You know, it was crazy. It really
Dang.
was. Now, but probably to me, the one, and I never said anything about this one. This is the first time I've mentioned this one.
Okay, we got some new nuggets dropping right here.
New nugget, not nuggets. No, I got one nugget. For those of you that are old enough, really, what's happening? What could potentially happen with those that are holding big bags of XRP?
I mean, potentially they can be very wealthy. I mean, I think this is going to be the
That's
largest
right.
transfer of wealth that we've ever seen. It's just,
The largest transfer of wealth that's ever happened, right?
yeah.
So the rich become poor and the poor become rich, right?
Okay. Yeah. Keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
Do,
it.
do you remember the movie Trading Places with
Uh,
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd?
yes, yes, yes. Where
So
I think I know where you're going with this.
Mortimer, yeah, the two billionaire
Yeah.
dudes bet $1 that they could destroy Dan Aykroyd's life, and that Dan Aykroyd wasn't anything special. He just had money, and that they could take a guy out of the slums like Eddie Murphy and give him all the opportunity that Dan Aykroyd had,
Yeah.
and he would rise to the occasion. Was the premise of the
Yeah.
movie. Well, they do that. They take everything away from Dan Aykroyd and give everything, his house, his cars, his servant, his clothes, his wallet, everything to Eddie Murphy. And of course, Eddie Murphy begins to become that person. And he gets good at it. He starts understanding stocks. He gives Mortimer, and I can't remember his brother's name, but the two brothers, he gives them advice, makes them a crap ton of money, and they think he's amazing. And pretty soon they don't want Dan Aykroyd back.
Yeah.
They want to keep Eddie Murphy because he's using now his street smarts and, you know, the markets and understanding them and doing
Yep.
homework. Anyway, but one part in that is the company's having a Christmas party, and Dan Aykroyd shows up and bombs the company Christmas party that he used to be a big shot at as Santa Claus. Pretty soon, he's getting frustrated. He's getting mad. He's hungry. He's tired. He's dirty. He's drinking, and he's shoving food through his beard, and he's just a mess.
Okay, yeah.
I told you all of this just to get to this one part.
You got to build the
At
scene.
some point, huh?
I said you got to build the scene. It's okay.
Yeah. At some point, there's Dan Aykroyd eating a piece of pizza as Santa Claus. Okay.
Okay.
Through his beard. Apparently unforgettable because I've never forgot it. When I was watching Noelle, she goes to Phoenix to try to find her brother because somebody's got to deliver all these Christmas presents and she needs to get him back. She's surprised to find out there's all these Santa Clauses on the corners and in the malls. And she goes up to this one guy and tries to tell him, you know what? It's a privilege and an honor to wear that suit. And he's wearing shorts. It's Phoenix. It's hot. So he's got the Santa outfit, but he's wearing shorts.
Okay.
And so she's giving him the what for because he's wearing shorts and how disrespectful that is to the uniform. And to take those shorts off right now. And he's standing curbside in Phoenix in shorts, eating a piece of pizza through his beard. Haven't seen it in 30 years.
So he's doing the same thing as Trading Places in
Yes,
the movie Noel.
exactly.
Wow.
Well, at least, the same scene, if you will,
Yeah.
a Santa Claus eating a pizza happened in Trading Places and happened in Noel. And I'm like, I mean, could that be a message that they know there's going to be a transfer?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's crazy, man.
So,
There is so many coincidences though, and that's why I told Crypto Mike, I like seeing his stuff. I like seeing some of the stuff that you have as far as the conspiracy theory stuff. It's just interesting. It doesn't mean like we all need to believe it everything 100%. It's just but what it does do is gets us thinking. And what if this is true? And like you said, there's just so many things that happen that are they all coincidences? It's interesting to think, but yeah, you're right.
well, obviously, I love Crypto Mike, but I think we have to be careful not to try to. I mean, I think you can do a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing all day long. You can find a way to you know
Yeah,
to read almost anything into anything if you work at it hard enough.
yeah, that's true.
And I think we need to be careful because none of it may be happening. And probably none of it is happening. You know, and so, but I don't want to be found falling short of trying to find out. And isn't that what this is all about? Everybody's just trying to find out and get their finger on the pulse of where are we at? Is this thing happening or not? Did I make a good investment? If I sit here and hold long enough and I keep watching, you know, 30, 29, 30, 31, 28, 29, 30, 31. I mean, if I do that long enough, is there a payday at the end?
Yeah,
Which I think we all agree there is. But I mean, that's what all this interest on YouTube and Twitter is all about. Everybody's just trying to make sure that they are making and did make the right call. And
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
you look everywhere for it. You look everywhere. You watch everything. You look at everything. You try to figure it out. And I was actually laying on the couch. It was Christmas holiday break. So I was laying on the couch when that Noel movie was playing. I put it on and fell asleep in it. And when I woke up, I was already suspicious because I had already seen the magazine covers and looked a few of those up. And I don't know what made me suspicious about it. But when I woke up, the first thing I heard was, he's in Phoenix. I'm like, Phoenix?
Oh,
What the heck?
snap.
So I backed it up, watched it again, and I'm like, man, that's just really weird that he would be in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, what's going on,
there
Paul
are
Jordan,
like I said,
aka Crypto Thanos, in the house, man? All right, go ahead.
well, I'm just saying that there's there are there are certain buzzwords and certain things that really make you think.
Yeah, and it's just kind of got
And
you hyper
you
focused
but
on it.
exactly, it's like buying a Volkswagen, and then you drive through town. All of a sudden, everywhere you look is a Volkswagen. It's like I never saw Volkswagens before. Now you're focused on it because that's what you've invested in or you've purchased or whatever.
Yeah.
So
So XRP Venture is saying, loving the detail, great memory, brother. Talking about you and you recalling all these details. Yeah, absolutely. You just it's really entertaining
uh,
because you just have that all just locked in, and you're like, remember the little,
yeah, well,
he's eating the pizza and it goes through his. I don't know why it's so,
yeah,
but yeah, that's a great memory.
well, it's interesting because I've looked up Trading Places on Netflix and went back and saw that scene again to compare to the two.
Wow, wow,
But it's like I mean that was anyway. But yeah, again, don't know if any of it is, but don't want to be what you don't want to do is find out, oh crap, later when there's no more DNA or NDAs to sign
mm-hmm.
or to enforce. You don't want to say, well, we tried to show you guys, we tried to tell you, but
Yeah.
you weren't looking.
You weren't looking, and it's something a lot of people think it's for the elites. They have those hidden messages out there, and it's like, hey, this is the time to invest in it.
Well, I think I'm convinced they do.
Yeah, yeah, it's really
I mean, why
interesting.
wouldn't you? If you had nothing but money and the only thing you cared about was power, why? And I mean, if you owned all the media and you owned all the TV studios, if you wanted to get agenda across,
Yeah,
I really think I think everybody should own a '65 Mustang. All of a sudden, there'd be a major feature film about you know owning a '65 Mustang, the most sought after muscle car in the world. Anyway, it's just propaganda.
no, hey, you're
If it
absolutely
doesn't
right.
push,
Uh, XRP Supreme, back to work, fellas. I'll be glad when I have my time back. XRP at Godspeed, amen. Make it
no,
Godspeed. Um, so so XRP Venture, how long have you been into the crypto market?
uh, probably just a hair over 2 years.
Okay. Do
Yeah,
you?
and I've shared it before. The first year, all I did was study mining. I was going to set up a mining farm for Bitcoin, and after the first year, I finally figured out that it it was it was negligible whether or not I was going to make any money at it or not.
Yeah.
And I finally just got to the point where I was like, I might as well just buy one, buy a Bitcoin instead of buying a miner, waiting for it to pay for itself over, 6, 8 months, and then letting it, earn me a Bitcoin over another 8 months or whatever it would take. I finally just, why don't I just buy a Bitcoin? Of course, at the time, a Bitcoin was only, $3,400.
Man.
So
That'd be nice if you
yeah,
if you go back in time, right?
yeah, that wasn't that long ago, dude.
Yeah.
That was last March.
That's
You
wild.
know,
Yeah, because it had its run up to like 19.8 or 19.8, and then it went back down to 30 something hundred.
yeah, we dang near hit 14,000 in 19
Yeah.
with Bitcoin. So but the first year was that, and then somehow I don't know if I landed on one of CKJ's streams or what have you. But then I started learning about XRP, and that was it. That's where I was at, and that's where I've been, and that's where I think
You've
I
dealt
want to
with
be.
the the longest bearish market we've seen. But
Oh man, I tell you, it's really taken a toll on me because I get frustrated and I get kind of mad even,
yeah.
and I think people need to be, I don't know, need to be careful because we still could be 2 years away, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that don't quit your day job. In fact, maybe get a second job. You know, don't
Yeah.
just keep 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 the wheels moving in your normal life, and this needs to be something on the side where you get it and forget it. You
Yeah,
know, you
exactly.
just,
As we always say, don't
you
don't
just
invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't overextend yourself to where
oh, those people drive me nuts
yeah,
too.
yeah, you're just if but if you're doing that, now you have to pull out it dropped. Now you're literally just losing money because you're not really losing
Okay.
money if you're not pulling it out as it drops down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lose if you know it's the old you can't lose if you don't sell. But think about human nature. Okay,
Yeah,
you find out about something that's like, holy crap, this could be like ridiculously life changing, right?
yeah.
Who's not going to spend more than they can afford to?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be responsible for it, though. You really do, because I remember seeing a Twitter post, and this was someone retweeted it, and it was from like a year. It was at the beginning of the bear market for XRP, but someone
Hmm.
ended up taking a second mortgage off their house, and they said, "I am investing way more than I can afford to lose, but I know this is skyrocketing. I know it's going up." So and he's like, "Fingers
Wasn't that
crossed."
somebody? Wasn't that like XRP Phoenix?
Very well could have been. I
Some,
don't remember who it was, but like I said, they,
but I remember his comment. He wanted to be like, if I'm going to go down, I want to go down big,
yeah,
or something like that.
there was a
I think
couple.
that was XRP Phoenix
Yeah, stuff like that,
or something like that.
And obviously, if you can't afford that, now you took out a second mortgage on your house because you thought it was going to shoot up, in a couple of days or a month or something. Now he's literally, well, how's he doing that? Especially if he took it out and sold it for a loss. Now you're
Well, everybody's in a different situation and in a different place. He might be able to afford. If you think about it, it's like, man, if I did that, a I'd have a second mortgage house payment of $630 a month.
yeah,
But I'm going to have 40,000 XRP more.
yeah,
And to him, it might be, I'm willing to scratch and scrape, and I'll take that second job at 7-Eleven, to make that $600. I'll make that somehow over the month because, we don't know when it might pop off.
yeah.
And if it pops off, I dang sure want to have that extra 40,000 XRP when it does.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with that. But again, at the same time, if you're putting into where you can take a second job and get away with it, then that's one thing. But if you're taking a second job, or if you're investing it and you can't afford to do it with a second job, then you're gonna be hurting from there. Looks like I'm losing you a little bit. Can you guys still hear me? All right, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Here we go. Just calling back Venture. Bear with me, guys.
It's interesting because
Hey,
you got me?
yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we're back on. Sorry for the interruption, guys. But yes, so as I was saying before we cut out, I think it's fine. And really what I say, because I go to the edge of that as far as investing, more than afford to lose. I put enough in there where if it went to zero, it would hurt. It's like, that hurts, but it's not going to break me. I'm not going to go bankrupt. It just hurt because, it's a lot of money. And a lot of money is different to anybody, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's relative. But you're young enough; it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Uh,
You can whatever that amount is, you can make that 30 times over again. So, but here the ones that drive me nuts are the ones that are like, you make a comment like, man, this price, no price action sure frustrates you and whatever. And then you get these trolls that'll blow you up like, well, you shouldn't invest more than you should. But okay, I don't know if you've seen me, but I'm 200 years old. I know a thing, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I'm your farmer's insurance agent. So I know that you're not you're preaching to the choir, and it just drives me nuts. Quit trying to act like a big deal on Twitter,
yeah.
hiding behind your no profile pic and your anonymous pseudo name, and tell everybody how you're holding forever because you're a big deal and you would never invest more than you could afford to. I guarantee you, everybody's holding more than you could use about half of the money back that you got invested, and probably find plenty of good things to do with it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you've been through a bear market like yourself. And I can't even compare to that. I started when it was 30 cents and it went down to 18 cents and and it's back at like around 29 right now. So I can't even bear with that. It's just, especially if you got in around like a dollar plus and just seeing it go down and down and down, that's tough. And I
That's
think yeah, in the long run, I think still it's going to be far succeeds some of our expectations with it, but it's still, as of right now, you're where's the green at, where
right.
so
Well,
RPM.
and I think we talked about this on our last show, but it drives me nuts to, oh, hey, it's the green stream. We're up 6%. No, we're down 27%.
Yeah,
We're still
yeah,
down 21%,
yeah.
you know? So yeah, it's frustrating. But I am beyond ready for it to do something. I just can't believe with all the good news, with all the partnerships, without that more doesn't happen price wise than has happened, you
No,
know?
absolutely. And something that motivates me, a couple different things, but I do like that David Schwartz, he goes on there and he says it. He's like, this has taken a lot longer than we expected, and he's
Yeah.
straight up with it. And I think that's encouragement. And he says he's going to stay with Ripple until they figure it out. So that's definitely an
Yeah.
encouragement, following people like, David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse, Ethan Beard, even though he's, doing his, whatever he's doing now, all these people that really know what they're doing inside it, even saying it's taking longer than they thought, and it's
Yeah.
really regulation.
Hey, hang on one second, will you?
Yep, I will. I
I
will.
got
I will read the
my wife's
comments.
calling me.
Yeah, I'll read the comments. You go ahead and take that. I'm going to mute you, so you can go ahead and talk. I'll mute you. Okay. So RPM. Sorry, let me get you guys up here. Have you guys seen Ripple make people remove an announcement about Bank of America running on Ripple because they want to make bigger campaign with information? Oh man, yeah, I did see. I saw someone from the XRP community post that, and they're trying to get Ripple um, to elaborate on it. So that's really cool. If you're hearing that RPM, sorry, we're just getting to that comment right now. Yeah, that's interesting. I did not hear that, but I did hear about the comment. Shy Town. Oh snap, Shy Town in the house. What's up, man? Oh wow, thank you for the wrench. I'm more like a wince. All right. Amen. Nice to see healthy, blessed. Venture crypto track. Hey, thanks again, man. Chi Town. Gold and silver is a fishing pole. All right. It looks like XRP Venture's back. There we go. I was just going through some of the
I'm
comments.
back.
You are back. Done with your conversation. Okay. Yeah, so GXP says he's agreed. I think that's what I was saying, unless he was talking about someone else. Feeling good from Chi Town. Ready for the deep dive. Venture spits. Okay, profound like a biblical script. Amen. Yeah, Venture he just takes you on a real imagination ride right there. And Darcy BXRP, anyone following the crypto teacher, he is saying the Fed pumping the stock market, which I knew, but there are also ones pumping crypto. Hmm. Yeah, that's really interesting. And it's funny. Someone just asked me today. They were like, "Hey, do you know anything about trading?" And he was talking about the stock market. Um, and I was like, "Oh, I pretty much told my not financial advice or anything, but I don't think the stock market is going to go too long with all the inflation that we see in it." And I let him know about digital currencies and XRP, all that good stuff, and he was like, "Man, definitely checking it out." He did know a little bit about XRP, so that's awesome. Venture, what do you think about the stock market and inflation and everything?
Well, I think what's happening is the Fed is keeping these banks alive through the drive up window or the repo market. And I think what they're doing is they go get their money, and I think they end up buying their own stocks, driving the price up. The stock market looks like a big bubble to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, when Trump took office, it was 16,000. Now we're 29,300 or something. We're just short of 30,000, which is just a crazy amount of money. It's like created $15 trillion since he took office. And I mean, are companies really doing that well, or are they, just buying their own stock to make sure their shareholders see the stock price going up so they don't lose their jobs?
Yeah, it's scary. And what he was telling me, and what I elaborated with him, hey, what comes up must come down. I was like, it's doing really well right now. And I'll say that with quotes. As far as price action, but when is the recession? When is the recession coming? Just like if I see Bitcoin at 14, $15,000, it would be harder for me to invest in that because it just seems like it's up and up and up and up and up. When is it can go
Mm-hmm.
back down? And I would be more for when it's down, it's falling. It's like, okay, when is that?
I think everything we thought was going to happen in January and February and March of this year is going to happen next year. I think it's all pushed back till after the election where Trump doesn't ever have to run for office again.
Yeah,
Then he can upset as many apple carts as he wants.
yeah, I've been getting that a lot. Maybe it's because we're
Yeah.
talking to a lot of the same people. But yeah, you're right. It's after he's elected, he doesn't really have anything to deal with. And then he can possibly hit that reset button, the level playing
Yeah.
field that we all hear about, and it doesn't matter because no one can say anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, the stock market could crash because he doesn't need the economy to run on. This year he'll be running on a strong economy as his platform,
Yeah,
you know, for reelection. Once he's reelected, he can dump the Fed, dump the whole economy, go to a reset, go to the gold standard, put people in jail, say whatever he wants. And, if you think he's pretty direct right now, I can't wait to hear him after the election's over.
oh man, yeah. If he's holding anything back now, shoot, imagine what it'll be after the election.
If you look at his election, is going to be just like Ronald Reagan's. Ronald Reagan's first election was, back and forth, and Reagan wins. Reagan's second election was a blowout across the entire country.
Mm, yeah,
And that's what's going to happen. Trump's
yeah.
going to have a blowout across the country.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And
it's he's doing a
and
lot of
at that
things.
point, yeah, at that point he'll just take that as a mandate to keep doing and do more of the stuff he's already been doing
Oh yeah.
because the people are behind him.
Like I said, he wants to wipe that debt clean. I think he will. If anyone's going to
I
do it,
think he does too.
it's going to be him,
Yeah.
especially with the amount that he's put up. Well, being in there.
What do you mean the amount he's put up? What are you
Well,
talking about?
well, like we were just talking about, since he's taken office, look at the debt now. You know,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah. So
Yeah,
RPM,
but I mean,
go ahead.
the reality of it is Obama's presidency occurred more debt than all of the other presidents in history combined. So
Yeah,
Trump's spending, you know, they all need to quit it. But that isn't going to happen until they break the system
yeah. It is, man.
completely.
It's a flawed system.
I think that's why Trump keeps saying he wants the Fed to go to zero. He wants them to go to zero interest rates because that's the last little bit of ammunition they have to do anything about this. They're running out of bullets for their gun. Once they're at zero interest rate, that's when they go into like the bond market where they got negative interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
I give you $50,000 to hold for 10 years and you give me no interest. You just give me back, something less than I gave you. You don't give me back, 50,000. You give me back 49,000 10 years from now. And you think, well, why would somebody do that? Well,
Stimulates
they
the
do that
economy.
because they think the government, yeah, because they think it's a safe haven. I'd rather have 49,000, 10 years from now than over the next 10 years for the whole economy to crash and I lose it completely.
Yeah, well, that's what Venezuela did, and their dollar back in, it was about the 2000. We actually talked about this with G XRP Perez. In 2000, their dollar was about the same as ours, and in about 10 years, it was significantly less. And they're doing that. They're doing negative interest, trying to
Whose dollar?
Venezuela. I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Oh, yeah, Venezuela had the opportunity to they were a wealthy and rich country.
Yeah.
One thing I don't think people realize that before we went into Iraq, one Iraqi dinar was worth about $4 US.
Wow.
Now it's barely worth the paper it's written on. It
Yeah,
may
that's
not be
wild.
worth the
So
paper it's
when
written on.
when when I was in Iraq, it was fun. The kids there, they go pretty crazy for the American soldiers out there running around. They run up to your vehicles like Mister, water, water, and but anyway, this is no fabrication at all. One of my friends, he'd been deployed a few times, so he's like, check this out. You can do a little sign. And I forget the sign, but it was something like he's like this, and he said if you do that to one of the kids, they'll go and catch a little bird and they'll bring it to you. So
Mm.
not making this up. So this guy, he goes and sure enough, he goes to one of the kids. He's like, hey, he's like, I'll give you some water or whatever, or a dollar or something. And the kid goes out, grabs this bird, and brings it to the truck. Like, and he's like, see, I think he gave him like a dollar or something. The kid was extremely happy,
Wow.
but I say that because I made a trade like with the kid, and obviously I know he made off a lot more than I did, but he gave me all this dinar for like a dollar or something, and he was real
Hmm.
happy about it, and I was like, all right, cool, we'll have a little you know
Well,
little fake money here.
that's why all these people that are watching and talking about the Jasara or Nasara, the global currency reset, they're all holding ZIMS, which is from Zimbabwe,
Mm,
and dinars from Iraq. And they want them to reset the currency and reset it back to what the dinars used to be worth. So if they're holding a million dinars and it's worth $4 to $1 American, their $1 million dinar, instead of being basically worthless, they want it to be worth $4 million. That's
wow.
why they want to reset.
Wow.
So we're trying to weave all this together. I mean, is there a reset really happening? Is it going to be, are they going to use crypto? Are they going to use gold? Where does it all fit? And that's what we're all trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But
So
that's what that community, all of the people in that community that are talking about, global currency reset, they're all holding ZIMs and dinars and are hoping to have an exchange rate to where they can go turn those in and get the new money at a much greater value,
wow.
and they become instant millionaires as well.
Wow, it's crazy how it works. So Shy Town, he just asked you a question. This is
Okay.
actually a while back. Sorry guys, I'm tied up with XRP Venture. Just dropping the nuggets with an S, even though he said it was gonna be
Hmm.
one. he said, what do you think XRP will be geared for? Derivatives, the foreign exchange markets, commodities, etc. Hmm.
All of it.
All of the above. There we go.
Yeah.
Stamp approved. Oh, hey, guess
Yeah.
what?
I mean, I
The
really do. I think
RPM
it's
RPM answers the
you know
same thing.
even
All
in
of it.
even in Brad's and I gotta go. I gotta go help my wife. But
Yeah.
even in Brad's video with Julia, is it Julie or Julia? I think it's Julia. Anyway, he's going after. They're going after when he makes the reference to Amazon. Amazon was just selling used books. And then they became what they are now. But I think right now with XRP and Ripple, we're Amazon selling used books right now on eBay. That's where I think we're at. Some point we'll be all things. I think just like Ripple is, or, and I've said it before, but I believe Ripple and XRP will be, like Google is to search, Ripple will be to payments. I think we'll be, obviously remittance back and forth and settlement between uh, um, central banks and their digital currencies, because they don't want each other's currency. They want one that they've all accepted
Yeah.
and agreed upon. I think there's a very good likelihood XRP could get tied to gold,
Yeah.
and that's why they're all
GRP says
willing to
gold
accept
standard.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, so I mean, there's a lot that could happen, but I think over the next 10 years, I mean, I think every mom and pop deli shop to McDonald's, every one of them, instead of using Visa, you may use the Visa debit card, but that's really expensive for small businesses to have um, um, uh, credit card and debit card services. They pay like 3% of every transaction, and it costs them a bunch of money. And when they can make it cheaper for those small businesses, now you got small businesses all around the world that could start using their, you know, swiping a crypto card and being um, a lot less money for the merchant. A merchant account. That was what I was looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
All that we could have every merchant account for every small business around the world. We could have settlements. We could be derivatives. We could be everywhere. There's probably no end to, if it involves making a payment, we'll probably be there.
Yeah. The sky's the
Would be like
limit.
this.
The sky's the limit. RPM said, "Don't worry,
Yeah,
Chi-Town. It's planned out and scripted already." Yeah, I think they already know what their plan is, and they'll go from there. Chi-Town said, we were talking about Venezuela. He said the problem with Venezuela was that the economy, it wasn't diversified. It was mostly based on petro.
that's right.
Yeah.
And corruption. And corruption.
Those mix, it just didn't make sense. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Chi-Town said he got buddies in the military saying that they're still waiting for their 800 numbers. What 800 numbers? What are you referring to? Okay. And Darcy B said, what is that? The bubbles of the bubbles is set to below elites. Know what they're doing. Okay. Okay. The Bubblizia? I don't even know what that is. Okay. Yeah. All right, XRP Venture. I know you said you kind of got to roll out. Hey, if you all can hit the
I do. I
thumbs
gotta
up.
go.
Yeah, and subscribe if you haven't. If you kind of like what you see, try to bring in members of the community and just have conversations and spread some awareness. So it's always fun. I really appreciate you all. I have one final question for you, XRP Venture.
Yeah. What do you got?
It's a tough one, and I'll try to let it be quick for you.
It's what?
It's a tough one, but it should be quick.
Okay.
All
What
right.
do you got?
So the train's leaving with or without you. XRP Venture, do you have your ticket?
I think I bought the freaking train.
You bought the whole train. And with that, Crypto Track out.
Yeah.
God bless y'all. Thank you so much, XRP Venture, for coming on the show. Take care.